We have 5 more minutes. Resume the recording. Okay, well, thank you everyone for this November Exportia Lab, and I'm your host today. My name is Christelle. I'm the owner of Exportia, and as most of you know, I have 20 years of experience in business development in Europe and a track record along with my team to scale Australian companies into the European market. And I'm an author and a speaker. So today we have the pleasure to welcome Delphine Coppens, and Delphine is the founder and owner of Jextern, and we're going to talk about marketing in French. And so Delphine is based in France, in Lyon, in the beautiful region in the Lyon area. And she's a chemical engineer originally, but she also has a web marketing and a marketing degrees. And she's also a geek because she's a Lean Six Sigma certified person, so I'm very impressed by that. And she has 17 years of marketing experience in management roles at 3M. And you founded Jextern 8 years ago. So would you like to introduce Jextern and your company?
Yes, pleasure. Thank you, Christelle. So hi to everybody. I'm very pleased to be with you this morning. And I tried to answer all your questions so that you have all the information you may need. So Jextern is a marketing agency, marketing and communication agency. We are based in France, has said Christelle. And our specialty is that we assist all our customers with both their marketing strategy and all the communication tools they may need. So strategy and operational. Jextern is now 8 years old. We are very flexible, and we like to have a very high quality approach with our customer for their total satisfaction.
Yeah.
We do work with lots of companies from different fields, different markets, and we are able to deal whatever you need as type of competencies like web marketing, printing, writing, designers, etc.
Yes. So the reason I invited you is because we've been working together for the last 7 years for some of my customers, and I found you saved us so many times. I can my customers so many times. So can you please outline how you saved us many times? And you've been assisting some Exportia customers in their marketing?
So I'm pleased to hear that we saved you. That's great.
Yes, kind of.
Yeah, we have done various marketing tools for you. We have done technical bulletin, brochures, flyers, roll-ups, many printing documents. And what was waiting for from your customer is that we are based in France, so we had the opportunity to make invoices without French VAT and without the transport cost from Australia directly to Switzerland or Germany or Spain, whatever you need. So we did all the printing for your customers, and we send it directly to the exhibition or to your contact directly in the countries.
Yeah, so that was really great, especially sometimes I can relate to that, because sometimes when we send, first of all, if you send it from Australia, it's costly, to be honest. It's not very time efficient. And also sometimes you have to pay custom duties, import duties, because it's still a good. So it's got a lot of issues. So it was so great to be able to work with you over the years to get you to print out our clients' marketing collateral already in the EU, and then to dispatch it in Europe. That was brilliant. Yeah.
What we did also is that it's so very small work. Like I understood that that helped you a lot. That was business card. So that we can understand the business card for the customers. We change the name, we change the telephone, we write that directly, we send it, and then we dispatch everything in the countries.
Yes.
And we're in direct contact with the regions for that.
Yes, and the great thing is that you have them on file.
Yeah.
So when we even if we hire somebody on behalf of our customers, or one of our customers hires somebody locally, here you go, here are the details. You can print their business cards, ship it to the sales rep.
Exactly.
So,
and in a few days you have it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was really useful, and I think that's something that some of the companies here today might find useful. I'm also interested, and one of the reasons why I invited you, I'm also interested to know a bit more about the difference. So all of my customers have their website typically in English, of course. And then when we start to market their product into the French market, they always ask us, okay, do we have to have a French website? Should we just have one page, one brochure in French? Can you tell us the value of having a French website?
Okay, so you may all know how Google works regarding the search engine. Google is just flying on your website and looking for the number of times you have written the keywords that is searching by the internet. Okay, so if we take, for example, this purple pencil, if I'm looking for a purple pencil, Google is gonna look at my website and count and compare to competition websites. He will note how many times I do place purple pencil in my website. So to answer your question, of course, if you want to be present on the French market and to use your website as a prospection tool, you will need to have something both nicely written, so that you be sure to have the right term in French in your website, so that you don't say it's a dark pencil, or, well, you have to use the right term. Afterwards, you have to use it many times. So you have to use it as much as you can behind the pictures, behind the PDF. When I say behind, is in the titles, in the PDF, in the videos, in the text, in the titles, in the URL, in the meta desk, etc. So if you want to use it many times and to be better than competition, it's preferable to have many pages.
Yeah.
Okay. The more you will have pages, the more you will be able to place your terms, and the more your website will be performant.
So can you help to know which French terms need to be used? Because I guess that's some of the difficulty that some of our clients would have, is like they wouldn't know if they just Google translate a term, is that the right one? You know?
It would be too easy, huh?
Yeah.
Of course. Even more if the market is specific. Okay. If you are on a customer market with you perfectly know your terms, that would be easy. But if you are in a difficult market, industrial market, specific market, regulatory market, you will have the terms to be precise, but also the right regulation you are talking about in France and not in Australia or in Germany. So all this environment, we can help by benchmarking the competition. And also, what I wanted to say to you, that we always say that to our customers, is that we don't know, first of all, but we're going to discuss with you. We're going to learn with all what you can give us, documentation, presentation, your website in English. We're going to benchmark the competition here in France to know maybe what is the right terms, but also what is used by the internet, which is sometimes not the same word. Okay, so of course we can help you, of course.
Yeah. No, that's great. And also there's always a typical same, I guess it's always for any small business, even in their English website. But how do you know, what's the best way for a small business that has to produce content in French for their social media, for their website, you know, to stay current and keeping up and adding some content? It's always hard for a small business. So how would you work with some of those small businesses on that, for example?
We have writers. So we make a point, make a meeting, we discuss with them, they just give us information like we have done an exhibition, we had so many contacts, we did that, blah, 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 blah. And we're going to write, and afterwards we choose picture and we place this text in both LinkedIn, Facebook, internet site, news, etc. So we do that. Actually, this is what we already do for our customers.
Okay. And how do you, so do you have access to people's account? Do you post on their behalf, or how do you do that? Can you really manage that part?
More often we have standard subjects, and we have subjects that are pushed by the customer.
Yes.
We discuss with them, and then we have direct access to their back office, and we are fully autonomous on that. We do that for them.
Okay, so you would have access to their Facebook account, yes. And basically if they tell you, okay, we're doing that campaign for Europe, for, let's say, you know, in Italian, in French, in German, can you post it? And you would, you know, put the campaign in French, for example, or maybe even in another European language, and post it for them?
Of course, that's what we do with our customers today. When we work with a customer, we have two levels of payment. Some customers are just taking us as advice and recommendation and discussion, etc. The other one are just taking us as marketing, internal marketing support.
Yes.
And we have access to all their accounts. We have access to WordPress, to Facebook, to Google Ads, to LinkedIn. We have all the accesses, and we are fully autonomous. We never do anything that is not validated by the customer. So we work by ourselves, and we send it to them. We make like a draft, understand it, and then they validate, and we place it on the web.
Yeah, sounds good. And let's take an example of if a customer comes to you and say, okay, we want to run a Google ad campaign in French. What would you work on with them? What would you say? What would you, how would you work on it? What would you ask them? What do you request from them?
Okay. So Google ad is a specific ad on a specific term. So first of all, we want to know which specific market they want to address.
Yep.
Because behind that, we would need to have, as usual, what the customer is expecting, what the competition is saying, and what the customer is willing. And we always work like that, okay? So we need to have all these questions, the three questions, and to find where we're going to position it so that we will be the most efficient with the smaller cost, okay?
Yes.
So we're going to discuss that with them. Afterwards, we're going to make a proposal on the campaign, the announce, the profile of the campaigns, if we do it just on Monday, or if we stay on 7 days, and do we place it at what time, etc. And the maximum budget per day. And we're going to place it. And afterwards, and this is very important, I'm looking at my customer all day on Google Ads results, is that we're going to optimize. Because we may, Google is going to propose us new terms. Yes. And we may say, yes, we're going to add this one to the campaign. And we will add it. finally it will cost too much, so we have less click. Okay, so we're going to optimize that with the customer, saying, okay, do you really need this term? Because it costs a lot, so we have less click for the same budget per day, and we're going to optimize that with the customer like once a month.
Yeah, it's great because you can imagine a marketing agency here based in Australia. They wouldn't have any idea on how to optimize and what word corresponds the best.
That's normal.
Yes, and you can go into completely a different direction that is not suitable for the business. So that is wonderful.
Yeah, because here in France, Google will propose regarding the French market. Okay, because Google is in France, the account is in France, so everything is in French words.
Yes, so that's perfect.
Even for benchmark. Competition benchmark. If you're based here, you will have French competitions that will appear in Google.
Yep. So just to the attendees, if you want to start asking questions, feel free to send them onto the chat. Just feel free to do that at any time now. Could you tell me if you are doing the same for Facebook, and if you're doing the same for LinkedIn? Are you doing a lot of LinkedIn in France?
We have 3 customers that are doing that in France.
Okay.
They're not doing it as regularly as I would like. But
okay.
they are doing their best, and I don't know how it is in Australia, but here in France, social radio is still hard to make customers doing regular social radio. It's still
regular. So what you're saying, they're not posting regularly on social media? Is that what you're saying?
It's very hard, yeah. We have to keep them in mind that as soon as they have information, innovation, new customers, new product, new pieces, new salary, they have to talk about it and to make it on the web. But it's not automatic.
So do you think that it is an opportunity for a smart, agile Australian company to market on social media in France? How cool would that be?
Definitely, yes. Well, business to business, LinkedIn will be the best support here in France, the best social media. Facebook is really for business to customer, really.
Yes.
I don't know how it is in Australia, but it will be really for different market approach. But we're also doing for swimming pool products. We have a customer that is working in swimming pool chemical products, and we are doing a lot of Facebook ads.
Yeah. Do you do, but I would, for example, some of my customers do a lot of Facebook for medical clients, so healthcare and so on. So I imagine Facebook would also be appropriate in that case in France.
Of course.
Yeah. Just to the participant, feel free to ask question on the chat. If no one is asking a question, I have one for you, Delphine, from one of my customers who could not attend, but asked that I ask you the question. So when they do paid Facebook ads with video and they do French subtitles, they still don't have a lot of traction in comparison to other markets. So do you think there is something, do they need to shoot always in French and the subtitles are never enough? Or do you have any insight about videos? Or not that much?
So that means that they place that in their Facebook account in Australia?
Yes.
And what do they do? The video is in English?
It's, sorry? The video is in English, so they mute it, but they subtitle it in French.
Okay. And what do they have?
It's a device, a medical device.
Okay. And what do the customer says?
So what they say is they don't get as much traction with French subtitles as they do in other markets. So in other European markets, they get traction, but in France, they don't. People watch the video, and what she says also is that they don't feel any contact form ever. So they may watch the video, but they don't fill in contact forms.
They place it on Facebook ads?
Yes.
On the French market, everything is well, parameters, etc. Everything is okay?
Well, maybe you have to talk to them to check that with them. You should be.
I'm surprised because, of course, it's always preferable to have something in French with the real voice.
Yes.
There's no reason that the video doesn't work in France, and if it works in the other countries, there's no reason.
Yeah. So I'm just going to check if there's any other question, Ron. So Ron is asking a question. When you say you work with customers, do you mean buying customers or all prospective customers that write content work with you? So I think Ron and Delphine, when you're talking about customers, you're talking about your customers that you are building the campaign for. Am I right?
Exactly. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. What we do also, I don't know if it's the question for Ron, thanks for your question. We do write text contents for our customers on specific products, etc. But we also write case studies. And some of our customers are giving us contact of their customers so that we're going to interview their customers to make case study for them.
Okay. So let's say if I had a French client that I had hunted with my team to get we could give you the contact details, you'd interview them in French, and then you produce the case study in French.
Exactly. And we can present ourselves as Delphine Coppens from Exportia or from, we're going to say that we are directly from your company.
Perfect.
That they make the link. Okay?
Yeah. They can make directly, you can already introduce yourself out the marketing department in Europe of that company.
Definitely. Yeah, that's what we do. Because otherwise the customer is a bit, is not so confident about what he has to say or not. So we're going to present us as a marketing department of the customer, and it's all good.
Yeah, perfect.
Sometimes we have specific email signatures if we have more contact with the customer, so that our signature is just with the name of your company.
Yeah. I had, a more generic marketing question, and sorry if I put you on the spot. So you've worked with some of our customers.
Yeah.
Australian manufacturers, mainly in B2B. And do you think that the French, do they have any idea or preconceived idea of how are Australian manufacturers? Do they have any idea? Or do you think they have no specific idea about any image or perception?
I think it's not a specific idea fixed and very clear. But if you ask everything about Australia, it will be positive. Definitely. Yeah. It will be positive. It will be environmental respect. It will be quality, expertise, and industrial. Okay, so it will be a very smart first image. Definitely.
Okay. That's good. That's brilliant. Yes. So I'm just as I'm inviting everyone to continue to ask questions. So let me just, I just want to share your contact. So if people are wanting to be in touch, I've put the contact details, and we will also add the your contact details into the follow-up email, so that if anyone wants to contact you, they're welcome to do that. I mean, we've worked with you with so many years that I'm very comfortable to recommend Jextern. I mean, we've worked with you so many times. And did you want to add anything before we wrap up, or did you have any tip or about marketing in French for those companies? Anything you wanted to share? An example? Oh, I think Darren has a question as well. Let me check. Darren has a question on the chat. Oh, sorry, we'll take Darren's question and then I'll come back to you. So how do you market efficiently for a technical watering product? So in Australia, they want to launch in Australia, and they want to launch in B2C in other regions. So I'm not sure. So is Darren, your question that you're launching in B2B, is that right? You're launching in B2B in Australia and you want to launch in B2C in Europe? Is that what you're saying? I just want to clarify the question to make sure we understand. Maybe I can even bring you. You can even ask your question if you'd like. I'm trying to bring you live.
I'm live. I'm live now.
You're on.
Yeah.
Would you like to ask your question?
Yes. Thanks. How do you market efficiency for a technical watering product that we've developed in Australia? Yeah. And we need to market in a different distribution model in other regions, for example, in France, if we were to do that?
Yes. So you would market through a distribution channel?
Yes, but the distribution channel needs to be, needs to be clearly defined so that we get the maximum uptake for our market share that we're aiming with this manufactured product.
Okay, but you're saying B2C, so it is for consumers, to be used for consumers?
Yes, you got it. It's in a consumer product.
Okay, and do you know who your consumers are? Do they live in the country? Do they water the garden? Something like that?
Yes, all of the above.
Okay, so Delphine, if we were to take an Australian technology to France and wanting to be water efficient for gardeners, French gardeners that want to be water efficient, what would you do?
big subject for
Darren.
What would you say, Darren? So thank you, Darren, for your question. What I can propose you is that we have to discuss about really learning about your product, learning about what French or other regions customers are waiting for this product. How is competition here in France? And afterwards, we will find out where to push, how to communicate, where to be as a distributions, etc. But first of all, the first part of your reflection should be to analyze the market where you want to be. How is the demand? What are the competition in place? How is the distribution way of selling here? Do we really need this product? What is the key arguments you have to develop? And then as soon as you have a clear identification of the market, the competition, the needs, then we will be able to say we need to make, I don't know, brochures, flyers, to make a mailing, emailing, Facebook ads, website, etc. But the first part would be to analyze your market where you want to implement.
Okay. Thank you. So we'd have to give you a bit of a brief on what's the argument, which profile of Australians, for example, buy this product, how do they look like for you to be able to, what if we don't know the French competitor? Could you help with that and try to find what you see?
Of course, because you may have competitor that we don't, and we may have competitor that you don't. Okay, yes. So competition is really, well, now with website, etc., most of them are worldwide, but of course, we do that for you.
Yeah.
Maybe you can give us key technologies that you know is competition everywhere, and afterwards we will find out if we have different here.
Yes. Okay. All right. Well, thank you. So Delphine, everyone have to acknowledge that Delphine is making a very nice effort for us today. She was there at 5:30 a.m. French time, and it's now 6 a.m. So she's just starting her day. So thanks so much for making the time, sharing your expertise. I hope that the attendees can make the most of that, but also contact you and see how you can help them to market in the French market. And we'll see you very soon, everyone. Just reach out. So in December, for the Exportia Lab, we are going to, usually in December, we don't do an Exportia Lab. What I'll do is I'll shoot a little video to share a little piece of advice for you to take during your summer holiday here in Australia. And then I will see you in February, and the February Exportia Lab will be around the new EMDG plan, as well as the new R&D tax incentive for Australian companies. So I thank you all for attending. I will see you very soon, and thank you so much for being here. Thanks, Delphine. Merci.
Thank you very much, everybody. Whatever you need, it will be my pleasure. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Merci.
Merci. Au revoir.